Hello, unlimited friends. It's Zara back again with Q&A about the law of attraction and how to apply it to our lives. The question today is from Ronen, and the question is, I wanted for a few days to ask you about my neighbor that's smoking, and we are fighting because of the smell. But I manifested it. I'm struggling staying in high vibes because of him. Still can't solve it. Okay. Ronan, thank you first of all for your question. Now, here's the thing. Wanting to control someone else's behavior never works because you really have no control over how someone else behaves. What you do control is your place on the emotional scale. And when you are high on the emotional scale, nothing that bothers you can happen. But there's an interesting twist to it. You see, when you are high on the emotional scale, then other people's actions stop bothering you. It's not that they please you. They're still doing their same old thing. They're still smoking away, making noise, doing whatever. But because you are high on the emotional scale, it no longer bothers you. And so what you're doing is you are pushing back against your neighbor, and that's the problem. Just stop pushing back. Soothe yourself by saying things like, maybe he is smoking more these days because something is getting to him. Something is going on in his life. And if I am meeting him in that place, that means I must be on that low vibration as well. All I have to do is to find a way to go up the emotional scale. And I know that it is too difficult for me to go up the emotional scale on the subject of my neighbor. So I'm going to distract myself from thinking about my neighbor, and I will focus my attention on something else. For example, I'll appreciate the things that I have in my house. I like where I live. I chose to live here. I'm comfortable in my house. I can look out my window and see this tree and this flower and this thing, and it pleases me. I can go on to the computer and I can visit wherever I want. I have so many good friends. And really, my life is pretty good. Find, Ronan, I don't know everything about you. I cannot know anything about you, but I'm just making a suggestion. Find things in your life that you can appreciate and just focus on them. And when your thoughts go to your neighbor, get off that. Tell yourself this is exactly like living next to a train track. People who live next to a train track, they know that the train track is there. Even before they move into the house, they know that they are going to get sound of the train passing. Or if people live near an airport, they know that they are going to hear planes taking off and planes landing. They know that that is part of the environment. So what do? They tell themselves, there is nothing I can do about this, so I'm just going to accept it and make the best of it. And what happens to them is that after a while, they don't even hear the train. They don't even hear the planes because they're not pushing back against it. So those sounds are no longer in their experience. You can be the same way. You can tell yourself, my neighbor smokes and there's nothing I can do about it. And that's totally okay. I'm just going to ignore the smell. I'm not going to let this bother me because I cannot control it. So I'm just going to go and live my life the best I can, and I'm going to ignore this. So that way you will stop pushing back against your neighbor. And when you stop pushing back against your neighbor and now you combine it with appreciation, getting distracted by other things in your life, now you can go higher up the emotional scale. And when you go up the emotional scale, sweetheart, one of two things will happen. Either the smell of the cigarette will no longer bother you, or your neighbor will go away. They will move. Something will happen. They'll find a different spot to smoke in so that you're not bothered by the smell. Anything is possible. Remember, it's law of attraction. All right, Ronen, what a superb question. Thank you for your amazing question, and I will see you in my next video. Everyone else who is here, if you could please do me a favor, like, subscribe, click on that notification bell, and please, please, please leave me a comment. Your likes, subscribes, and comments help my videos reach a greater audience because they go up in YouTube's ranking. Thank you again for visiting, and I hope that you'll come back for more. Bye for now.